The creative journey is what you make it. I'd say the creative journey is kind of like that story of the fish who didn't know they were in water. And that story goes like this. There were these two young fish swimming along, and they happened to meet an older fish swimming the other way, who nods at them and says, "Morning, boys, how's the water?" The two fish swim on for a bit, and then eventually one of them looks at the other and says, "What the hell is water?" Why I say this story is like the creative journey is because it is something a lot of people are not conscious they are on to begin with. The creative journey is the water, and some people are the young fish, and some people are even the old fish, now that I think about it. We all were at some point, but with self-awareness comes an inner knowing, a knowing of where we are and where we want to go, as well as where we don't want to go. The creative journey is something that's lifelong, and it's far from linear. Although the road to your success isn't linear, that doesn't mean your consistency and effort shouldn't be. The creative journey is showing up for yourself every day, especially on the days you don't feel like it. When I say the creative journey is what you make it, that means we have more control over our creative journey than we like to believe. A lot of people don't want to or know what to do with that level of responsibility. What it really is a responsibility of self, because no one is on your journey but you. No one determines where the journey ends but you. That means you have to hold yourself accountable for the choices you make in your day-to-day. Although it does take a compound of actions to start to see results you desire on your creative journey, the results you desire are not impossible. The problem I used to have, and I see many other creative people having, is that they either don't know they're on their creative journey, are aware of it, but don't hold themselves accountable, or they let other people and systems outside of themselves dictate the trajectory of their creative journey. It could be one or a combination of all three of those that get in the way of someone realizing that they are here to experience more than they have been told they are worthy of experiencing. Because if someone can convince you that you are not adequate or are lacking in a certain area of your life, then they can package up a solution that does more harm than good. I'm here to tell you that's bullshit. And you have all you need inside of you to get what you want out of life. But the society we live in does a great job at convincing people that they need that degree. They need the car, the house, the job that exudes superficial levels of status. I would be lying if I said status doesn't matter. It does. But it's the metric we use to measure that status. It's based on material things rather than the value we bring to the table. Thankfully, I see a shift happening, in the digital world at least. The guys flaunting big mansions and yachts full of women, screaming at you that they have a way for you to get rich quick are over. Or at least people are becoming more aware that those ads are just a bunch of smoke and mirrors. To me, the creative journey has become about securing my future. I'm not saying the way I'm going about it is right, but I can say it's real and honest. It depends when you read this, but I'm currently living out of my car. It's definitely not my choice, but it is where I'm at on my creative journey. Being aware you are on a creative journey is the first step. Taking actions toward your goals is the second. The third is making use of the resources you have available. Luckily, there are more free resources than there are paid. So you really have no excuse to learn and apply the skills you need to secure your future. 5 steps are determining your goals and focusing on them. Because ain't shit in this world like a focused drive. The creative journey is about execution. The funny thing about the creative journey is that whether you are conscious of it or not, you're on it. You're just creating for someone else rather than yourself. The easy thing to do is to go through life unconscious to the fact that we have the power to think and act for ourselves. Yeah, it makes life easy in the moment, but in the long term, life will be harder because living your day-to-day unconsciously will only lead to a hard future. A future where you can't provide the life you want for yourself, or God forbid, for your children. I say that's probably my biggest fear is when I have kids, I won't be able to provide a life better than the one I had as a kid. Thankfully, I am conscious of doing the hard things now so that when I do have children of my own, I can provide for them. A large majority of people don't have the time and or energy to think that long term because in the moment they have bills to pay, people to provide for, and food to put on the table. I understand how scary it can be to take a leap of faith into the unknown. I used this metaphor in the past, and I think it still applies. When you are first learning to swim, you don't go and jump straight into the deep end. You start by holding on to the wall in the shallow end as you practice your kicks. And eventually you let go of the wall and you learn the arm motions. And then eventually you're swimming in the deep end. Learning to swim is much like the creative journey. You can jump straight into the deep end, but that's the quickest way to drown from overwhelm of a new way of being. Because a new way of being is what it's going to take to make something of your creative journey. Becoming conscious of the fact that you are on this journey is the first step in taking your power back and securing your future. To take advantage of this creative journey we're on, it is important to have goals that are specific to you. Without goals, you'll be stuck in a loop of stasis and either, one, not be in pursuit of anything, or be pursuing goals someone else has chosen for you. The choice is yours, honestly. To me, that's the great part about this journey. Every day we wake up with another chance to create what we want to see in the world, to get all we want out of our time here. If that much amount of power and responsibility is overwhelming to you, start small by putting one foot in front of the other, by taking it a day at a time. You do this by establishing a long-term goal that is personal to you, breaking down a big goal into smaller goals, breaking down those smaller goals into actions you can take on a day-to-day basis. You don't have to build the whole wall at once. You build the wall laying a brick at a time. Soon you'll look up and you've completed the whole wall. I believe it is human nature to want more. I also believe it is human nature for us to be comfortable and complacent with where we are currently and the life we are currently living. The funny part is, change still happens. The creative journey isn't about setting financial goals for yourself and working to reach them. The creative journey is a lifestyle. Being conscious of the journey and actively pursuing it causes us to become aware of all the parts of our life, most importantly our health. I believe our health is one of the non-negotiables when it comes to the creative journey. Because what is the point of making it if you're not healthy enough to enjoy the life you built for yourself? This is much deeper than your physical health. This also goes into your mental and spiritual health as well. To truly thrive, you need a balance of all three. Although there is some overlap in between the mind, body, and soul, each also stands as its own pillar, but each support the same structure. That structure being your creative journey, that structure being you. This looks different for everyone, where your workout for your physical health can attribute to your mental health. This also helps you see what you're really made of. When you push yourself past your physical limit, you'll become addicted to that feeling and want to do it again. I also believe this can build spiritual strength. When you put yourself through hard things, it builds you up mentally and spiritually, so that when you really do face something that challenges you, you are mentally and spiritually strong enough to get through it. To the person reading this or watching this, I don't know what you've been through in your life, but I can tell you that the hard part of your life is over. Because if you're reading this, that means you have a Wi-Fi and a smart device, iPhone, iPad, laptop, whatever it may be. I'm not saying those material things will make your life easier by any means, but you are better off than the people who don't have access to these first world luxuries. Practicing gratitude for where you are and what you have now will make more room in your life for the things you actually do desire. Because how are you going to appreciate something new or a new level of life if you don't appreciate where you are now? I'm no spiritual guru. I'm not a gym bro. But because of the cards life has dealt me, I have built up the mental strength to persevere and stay focused on what I want to accomplish. The best practice that has worked for me is meditation and journaling when it comes to building my mental fortitude to make something of my life in this world. And I'm no different than you, so if I can do it, so can you. Like I said, if you're reading this, that means you have access to Wi-Fi. So even if you're struggling to meet people on your creative journey in the physical world, there's a whole digital world full of people who have things in common with you that you can connect with. When it comes to relationships on your creative journey, there are 3 things you have to be aware of. 1, the relationship you have with yourself, the most important in my opinion. 2, the relationship you have with friends, family, partners, your mastermind. And 3, the relationship you have with the community you build. Being an artist can be isolated, so it's important to get out of your comfort zone and explore your genuine curiosities. You are more likely to meet people you can connect and relate to that way. Cultivating relationships on your creative journey will help you grow as a creative. You never know what putting yourself outside of your comfort zone can lead to, especially if you meet like-minded people who are headed in the same direction as you. They can become lifelong friends that help you become the best version of yourself on this creative journey. We are all on this creative journey, but it is not a journey we have to take alone. Like the title says, it is what we choose to make it. Becoming in control of how you spend your time is the key. I also realize you have to eat, so it may not be possible to dedicate all your time to your creative journey right away, and that's okay. Become conscious of how you spend your time before and after you do what has to pay the bills. Become conscious of how you spend your time before and after you have to do what pays the bills. And you'll find that you have more time to pursue your creative journey than you thought you did. Just don't expect it all to happen overnight, because anything worthwhile takes time. Thanks for watching and reading, and sticking around this long if you're still here. If I were to go back to the beginning of my creative journey, I would tell that version of me to be more mindful of how I spend my time when I'm not working on my day job. Am I giving my energy to things and people that will get me to where I want to be? I would become clear about what my goals are and why I have these goals. Are they really goals I truly desire? Or are they goals I think I should have because people and systems outside of me tell me I should have them? I urge you to do the same. Look at your life from a bird's eye view. Become mindful of how you spend your time. Become mindful of your relationship with yourself. Spend time with yourself to discover what it is you are truly passionate about. Most importantly, take it all a day at a time, because yesterday is gone and tomorrow will never come. Thank you for watching and tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.